How's it going, everyone? Welcome to your waiver wire pickup. Starting off with the quarterback position. First, we have Sam Darnold, Minnesota Vikings. Believe it or not, this guy is still available in 30% of leagues. He's only had one bad game all season. He gets the Jaguars next week, plus he gets to throw to the best wide receiver in football, in Justin Jefferson. Next, we have Aaron Rodgers, New York Jets. Believe it, 7 games, he's been pretty good this season. So you've had quite a few times you can start him, and he gets a terrible Cardinals defense next week. On to Trevor Lawrence of the Jacksonville Jaguars. People forget how talented this guy is, and since week 4, he's actually been a pretty viable fantasy football quarterback. Lastly, Russell Wilson, Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are coming off a bye week, and Washington's D has been very average this season.
Here are some wide receivers to add to your fantasy teams in Week 10. First off, I like adding Xavier Legette. The rookie out of South Carolina is only owned in 23% of Yahoo leagues. He's had 13 targets over the past 2 weeks, and he's scored a touchdown in each of those games. In fact, he has a touchdown reception in 4 of his last 6 games, and with Deontay Johnson traded and Adam Thielen's status uncertain, I expect Legette's volume to continue to be high. Next up, I'd like picking up Nick Westbrook-Akine of the Tennessee Titans. Westbrook-Akine is available in 99% of Yahoo leagues, and he has scored a touchdown in 4 consecutive games. He's coming off a season high of 6 targets in Week 9, and it looks like he will continue to grow a bigger role within the Titans offense. And lastly, if Jerry Jeudy is available in your league, he is a priority pickup. He's still available in just over half of Yahoo leagues, so it's worth checking your waiver wire to see if he's still out there. Jeudy has thrived with Jameis Winston as his QB. In 2 games with Winston, Jeudy has been targeted 19 times and had 12 catches for 152 yards. As long as Winston is the starter in Cleveland, Jeudy remains a viable option as a flex.
Week 10 waiver wire pickups at the running back position. And let me tell you guys, it is getting slim pickings out there, but we got a couple nuggets for you guys. First up, Keaton Mitchell of the Baltimore Ravens. He tore his ACL last December, so he's just getting back into the swing of things. He did start practicing before Week 9. He obviously did not play in Week 9, but when he comes back, he'll slot in as that number 2 running back for the Baltimore Ravens. And hey, if the Baltimore Ravens have some playoff seeding locked up, they might rest Derrick Henry, and that's when Keaton Mitchell's going to come in handy. Also, we're looking at Ray Davis of the Buffalo Bills. His opportunities have not been optimal. However, he is making most of the opportunities that he has been given. Week 9, he had 4 rushes for 20 yards, 2 catches for 70 yards, and a touchdown. And if this guy is still available, Tyrone Tracy Jr. of the New York Giants, you must pick him up. We've been saying him for a couple of weeks. If he's still there, grab him. In Week 9, he had 16 carries for 66 yards, and it seems that he has taken over. While it is still a committee back there, he has taken the lead role over Devin Singletary. So that's who you guys should be picking up for running backs. Like I said, slim pickings, so get who you can.
These are my top waiver wire pickups at tight end for Week 10. First off, I have Mike Gesicki. He's 80% available on Sleeper, and the Bengals passing offense is cooking right now. He was the tight end 1 overall in Week 9, and he's seen 14 targets in T. Higgins' absence over the last 2 weeks. He will likely lose some volume when Higgins returns, but he's a tight end 1 moving forward if Higgins continues to miss time. Next, I have Taysom Hill. He's had 18 touches over the past 2 weeks, and with Chris Olave out moving forward, Hill will likely be heavily featured in this offense. Hill has the potential to be a league winner at the tight end position this year. I also like Hunter Henry. He's averaging almost 8 targets per game over the last 3 games, and he is the tight end 7 overall this season in half-point PPR. Henry remains a good tight end moving forward that can definitely serve as a starter for you.
Excuse me, sir. Would you like another hot take?
Yeah, definitely. Keep them coming.
Okay, for my hot take this week, it's about Kyle Pitts. got Kyle Pitts again. What do I mean by that? I trust him. I even was starting a Kyle Pitts apology tour, and then he does it to me last weekend. It's worse than being rickrolled. You kind of trust him, then bam! You get Kyle Pitts, okay? I could have started Ferguson, but no, I started to believe that Kyle Pitts was a top five tight end, and I'm mad at myself for believing it. So please, guys, don't be like me. Don't get Kyle Pitts.
My hot take, man, I have been waiting for this all season, ladies and gentlemen. Christian McCaffrey is finally coming back. He should make his debut this week. Whether or not he's ramped up all the way, I don't think so. Probably going to take 3 to 4 weeks for him to get full speed going again. But hey, he's coming back just in time, and he's going to help the Niners to that coveted first round bye in the NFC. And they have one of the toughest remaining schedules. I mean, Christian McCaffrey's coming back at the perfect time. They're going to get some other guys back on defense. Talanoa Hufanga should be coming back soon. Listen, this team can make a run. All they got to do is get in the playoffs, but I do truly think that they will get a first-round bye. There's still 10 teams ahead of them right now, but they still have to play 6 of those 10. They're going to play the Buccaneers. They're going to play the Packers. They're going to play the Bears, the Rams, the Lions, the Cardinals. They're going to take them all down, and they will have that first-round bye. It's hot, baby.
My hot take for the week is that Drake May will be a top 10 NFL quarterback. Although this has been a tough season for the Patriots fans, they have something to be happy about because it appears they have found their future franchise signal caller in Drake May. May has been very solid for a rookie through his first 4 starts, and he is definitely providing some juice to this offense. I like his passing and rushing ability, and I believe that will translate over time as he continues to improve and elevate into a top QB in the league.
My hot take for the week is that the Kansas City Chiefs will accomplish something that very few NFL teams have ever pulled off, and that is that they will finish the regular season undefeated. They've already defeated the Ravens, Bengals, Falcons, and 49ers, and the rest of the remaining schedule is relatively easy. If they can defeat the Broncos and Bills over the course of the next 2 weeks, they finish against the Panthers, Raiders, Chargers, Browns, Texans, and Steelers. With their defense looking great and their offense improved with the addition of DeAndre Hopkins, I think that they will have just enough firepower to pull it off.
This is a poker hand I played at 1-2 stakes at TCH Social. In this hand, a tight player raised in middle position to $10. 2 players called, and I completed in the big blind with pocket eights. Normally, this would be a slam dunk squeeze spot, but this guy was very tight, and I didn't want to blow the pot when I'm way behind his overpairs and only get value from hands that I'm basically flipping against. The flop came 4-5-7 with 2 diamonds. I checked the MP and he c-bets here for $15, which is a pretty small sizing. The other 2 players fold and I make the call here. I could raise, but I think I'm just going to call, keep most of his hands in. I still could be behind, so I need to be a little bit careful here. The turn comes another 7, and now the action goes check, check. And the river is beautiful. It comes in 8, and we make a boat. Here I decide to overbet to $80, thinking that he won't be folding his overpairs on this board to basically any sizing that I use unless I get crazy like 3x pot. And he does tank here for about a minute and a half and makes the call, and we are good. This is another hand I played from the same session. The cutoff raised to $10, and I call on the button with king queen off, and both blinds fold. The flop comes king 8-4. He now checks, and I bet $10, and he makes the call. The turn comes the ace of hearts, bringing a flush draw, and he checks it to me. And here, I think a lot of his range could be ace-high type of hands and weak pairs when he checks the flop. So I don't really see much value in betting, so I check it back. The river comes the 10 of hearts, and he checks again for a 3rd time. And now here, I should have the best hand all day. So I bet $20, and he snap calls. we're good and he mucks his hand pretty quickly. But the lesson here is that I probably should have went bigger, even though I don't have a super strong hand. Relatively compared to his actions, I do have a strong hand here, and I think if I go 40 or 50, he still calls here thinking I'm bluffing, but oh well, we'll take the win.
Okay, we are playing 1-2 at TCH Social. Earn gun opens to $20. Two players call. Now the hijack, three bets to 125. I look down at red pocket kings. Been pretty loose table, so I do the only thing I think I can and rip it all in for $389, and we get four callers. Let's go to the flop. The flop is the queen of diamonds, the six of hearts, and the five of diamonds. Iron Gun now goes all in for $225 in middle position calls, so everyone's all in. The turn is the nine of spades, and the river is the three of hearts. Iron Gun shows that they had pocket sixes for a flop set. Middle position had ace 10 of diamonds and Mr. Flush Draw. The hijack had ace queen of spades, and our pocket kings are correct. Sucks to lose that way, but that's what happens with that variance of a crazy table. All right, still playing 1-2 at TCH Social. Ungun plus one bets to 15. Four players call, and we look down at 10-8 of spades from the big blind. So we call and we check in the dark. So let's go to the flop. The flop is the 10 of hearts, the 7 of hearts, the 4 of spades. Ungun plus one now bets to 20. Three people call, and we got top pair. So we call and check in the dark again. The turn. The turn is the eight of clubs. Ungun plus one now bets $80. One player calls. I go all in for 220. Ungun plus one calls, and now the other player folds. The river is the queen of diamonds. Ungun plus one shows their pocket aces, and we win with our two pair. And they said they had no idea with the way I was playing and checking in the dark, which is a good kind of strategy to help you get in a weird way reverse position.
Soccer hooligans.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Tennis here with your election day results for the added minutes, and we had some early voting results already in. The LA Galaxy, they win their series 2-0 over the Colorado Rapids. Minnesota United also winning their series 2-0 against Real Salt Lake. Game number 2 was decided by penalties, so it was close. Another one where game 2 was decided by penalties was New York Red Bulls winning their series 2-0 over the Columbus Crew as they advance. And Seattle, they 2-0 the Houston Dynamo. That's it for our early voting results. We still have some more results that will be rolling in throughout the week. It's going to take a while to get these tallied. On Friday, we should have word out of Los Angeles as Los Angeles Football Club is taking on Vancouver. That series tied 1-1. Saturday, we have results coming in from Cincinnati versus NYCFC, Orlando hosting Charlotte, and Miami hosting Atlanta. That's right, Atlanta and Miami. That is a heater of a matchup. Obviously, we got the GOAT, Lionel Messi, on that one. So we will get those results from you guys then, and we'll be sure to let you guys know all four of those series, the one on Friday, the three on Saturday, all tied 1-1. It is winner moves on, ladies and gentlemen. So we look forward to that this weekend. Hope you guys have a good week.
Here are a few fancy football players that are fool's gold, so please avoid them. First, Mike Gesicki, the Cincinnati Bengals. 5 of his 9 games have been completely unplayable, and he's very dependent on whether or not T. Higgins plays. And when that happens, his volume goes way, way, way low. Next, we have Quinn Johnson, LA Chargers. He's so boomer bust. Every week, it's good game, bad game, but it's really tied to touchdowns. If he doesn't get a touchdown, he has a bad game, and touchdowns are probably one of the most unpredictable things in fantasy football. Finally, Amari DiMercato, Arizona Cardinals. 2 weeks. of the whole season above 8 points, and he's the third string running back in Arizona. I like him when he gets a chance, but do not waste a waiver claim on him. All right, here are a few players to pick up on the fantasy basketball waiver wire. First up, Peyton Pritchard, Boston Celtics. He gives you position at point guard. He's available in 60% of leagues. He's been making 4.1 three-pointers, which is fantastic. 15.7 points, 3 rebounds, 2.6 assists, and 1.3 steals to help chip in a little bit of everywhere. Next, Lukanzi Dort of the Oklahoma City Thunder. If you've been following, I talked about him last year. We love that he gives you the position flexibility at guard and forward. He's available on 77% of leagues. He's made 2.2 three-pointers, 12 points, 3.5 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 1.2 steals, and 1 block. So it gives you a little bit in all of the categories. Okay, thank you so much for watching to the end. If you haven't yet, please take a moment, hit that like, comment, subscribe. And if you do not know yet, on Saturdays we are dropping our start sits for the week. So check that out to make sure that you're watching, seeing the players you should be starting and sitting for fantasy football. And at 11 a.m. Central Time, we go live to kind of give you the best updates of what's going on for fantasy football. So check that out. We have our store. Go there, get some DGL merch, and have a great week.